Part 44. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 431. Chapter 431, Wu can't take this risk. 2 more please customize. Subai observed the hot air balloon carefully, going up to the basket carrying the person and down to the skin of the hot air balloon. Or maybe it's the heating device in the middle of the hot air balloon. Every step is observed very carefully. After all, he was the only one who knew about hot air balloons in the primitive era, so he must take responsibility for himself. If something goes wrong with the hot air balloon and it falls, he will suffer. What he was thinking about was that after the hot air balloon was inflated, he would be the first to go up. After checking back and forth for more than 10 minutes, he nodded with satisfaction. There was nothing wrong with it overall. Well done, this hot air balloon is perfect. Subai nodded and smiled. This surprised him. He didn't expect that he would make a hot air balloon so perfectly. This is his first time. That was so good, I thought something could go wrong. Gumu breathed a sigh of relief. As he got older, he became very cautious in doing things, especially since this thing is used by witches, so he needs to be even more cautious. Witches are related to the development and future of the entire tribe. It would be bad if something happened to him. So when he received this drawing, he was both excited and a little worried. What was exciting was that such an important thing was actually handed over to him. What was also worrying about was that such an important thing was handed over to him. To yourself, what should you do if you can't do it well? Let people start inflating it, and then we'll experiment with flying the hot air balloon. Subai analyzed. He couldn't wait to take a hot air balloon ride in the primitive era. He wanted to see the entire primitive era from a high altitude. Yes, Gumu nodded and started to let the apprentice inflate it. After 10 minutes, the deflated hot air balloon that was originally lying on the ground began to turn into an oversized balloon, standing upright. After the hot air balloon was inflated, the apprentice placed it the place where the flame lit up the pot of flames. Hoo hoo! The flame burned fiercely and kept making a whirring sound, because the shelf was very close to the bottom of the hot air balloon. The heat emitted by the flames burning in the brazier continues to rush into the hot air balloon. Woo, you can get on the hot air balloon. Gumu walked back and said. When the flames on the plate are burning brighter and the heat is stronger, there will be more heat inside. Then remove the weight-bearing things and the hot air balloon can begin to slowly rise into the air. Woo, this is too dangerous, let's go up and try it first. Shalan said immediately. Although the cat-eared girl was very surprised by the hot air balloon, she was still rational. Suddenly it was said that this hot air balloon could take off, and Wu had to sit on it. She would definitely be a little worried. If something happened to the hot air balloon suddenly in the air, wouldn't it be very dangerous? Therefore, it is absolutely impossible for the cat-eared girl to put Wu in danger. Yes, Wu, let's go and try it out first, and then you can take the second ride, which will be safer. Yanhua immediately agreed. She almost forgot about this matter, her attention was completely attracted by the hot air balloon just now. Wu, Sister Ahua and the others are right, this is the first time, you can't take this risk, Yu Ying said immediately. Fox Ear Girl's shock and excitement at the beginning slowly turned into worry. She really didn't want to put Wu in danger. Well, don't let it be your first time. Let the apprentices try it. They know this hot air balloon better, Subai said. He originally didn't plan to ride this hot air balloon for the first time. After all, he still had to test it out before he knew it. It would be fine if the apprentices went to the first test. After all, they were involved in the drawings and production. He must be relatively knowledgeable about this aspect. Wu, it's okay, we have tested it twice and there were no problems both times, Gumu said immediately. Of course he would not let Wu take any risks. When the hot air balloon was successfully made, he let the apprentices try to fly. And they tried it twice once, and the results of both test flights were very good. So his thick eyebrows slightly raised, he nodded with satisfaction and praised well done. He had to admire Gu Mu. As expected, he was very cautious in everything he did as he got older. He even did the test flight in advance, which really surprised him. Wu, let's wait a little longer. I will definitely let brother Shifeng, Qinchi, and Ai come over. With them, it will be safer. Shalan said immediately. The cat-eared girl is also more cautious. Since she knows that hot air balloons fly into the sky, she needs to find someone with wings, just in case. Just in case the hot air balloon flies into the sky. If something happens, people with wings can save the witch immediately. Good Subai reached out and rubbed the cat-eared girl's head. As expected, girls are famous for their caution. Tap tap tap. Half an hour later, Shifeng and the others arrived and followed Subai and others on the hot air balloon. Hoo hoo. The apprentices and Gu Mu also got on the hot air balloon because they knew the structure of the hot air balloon quite well. At that time, the rising and falling of the hot air balloon will depend on them, so they must keep up together. The flame on the brazier continued to burn, and the hot air emitted slowly began to lift the hot air balloon into the sky. The basket of the hot air balloon began to leave the ground little by little, and after a minute, the entire basket left the ground completely. Yan Hu lay next to the basket and looked at the ground, and said in surprise, "It's really flying." Niujiao Niang was so happy that her red eyes kept blinking. She kept watching the changes in the hot air balloon leaving the ground, but she didn't dare to move for fear that she would move too much and cause the hot air balloon to fall again. Yes, it really flew. It was really amazing. Shalan was also lying around the basket. Her cattail was wagging happily, but at the same time she was a little worried. This was the first time she had seen this hot air balloon, and it was also the first time she had ridden in it. In addition to being excited, will also be a little worried. Her attention is different from that of the horned girl. The other party is completely staring at the changes between the hot air balloon and the ground, while she is following the wizard closely, for fear that something will go wrong. The cat-eared girl, her expression was alternately excited and worried, and she held the basket with both hands quietly. The same was true for Yuying. She was not very excited, it could be said that she was more frightened. Hu Ernian lowered his body, squeezing the basket tightly with both hands. I looked around the basket and put my chin on the back of my hand, not even daring to open my eyes. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 432. Chapter 432, Isn't it because you are afraid of heights? 3 more, please customize. The expressions of Ai and the others are pretty good, because they can often fly into the sky. I can often feel the feeling of being in the sky, and I don't know how many times I have seen the ground from below. So this time when they flew into the sky, their expressions were not exaggerated. But there will still be a shock. After all, this is the first time I have seen a hot air balloon. They didn't even expect that a hot air balloon made of animal skin could fly into the sky, and it also relied on flames to fly into the sky. This was a bit incredible. This was the reason for their shock. As for the beautiful scenery below, they were not surprised at all. I didn't expect this thing to fly without wings, Ai said in surprise. Butterfly Girl flew out of the hot air balloon and planned to observe the hot air balloon 360 degrees. Phew. Phew. The butterfly girl flapped her beautiful purple wings and flew out, and began to observe around the hot air balloon. She flew up to the top and down to the bottom of the basket, watching carefully, and sometimes she flew to the side of the flame to watch. Just like a curious baby, he looked at the hot air balloon up and down, and poked the big balloon with his finger from time to time. I found that the hardness of the big balloon was quite hard. At first, I found that I couldn't poke it in, but then I poked it hard and it got a little dented. That's all. It's really amazing, Ai kept mumbling to herself. Butterfly Girl returned to the hot air balloon with curiosity, her face full of questions. Okay. How about it? Did you see anything different? Chinchi asked why. Originally, the boy wanted to fly out and have a look, but he thought that he must protect the safety of the good witch first, so he suppressed his curiosity. Fly out and take a look, I'm here, AI pushed the other party. Instead of talking to herself for a long time, it was better for the other party to take a look. Yanhu looked up at the big brazier and wondered why can you fly with the help of flames? The Nyojiao Niang has had this doubt for a long time. She wanted to ask the question before she even took off from the bottom. She was still lighting the fire. But she didn't know what she wanted to do at the time. It wasn't until the balloon soared that she suddenly realized it. Yes, won't these flames burn the hot air balloon? Yu Ying asked worriedly. The fox-eared girl was curious about something different from the others. She was curious about whether the hot air balloon was safe. Unlike the horned girl, she didn't have the time to worry about whether the hot air balloon was safe. I just think this hot air balloon is so fun. Probably not. These flames are so far away from the hot air balloon. Shalan guessed. The cat-eared girl was also curious about this point, but a hot air balloon cannot fly without those burning flames. She still knew this. This is called thermal expansion and contraction, and the heat emitted by the flame is used to make the hot air balloon fly. Subai explained simply and crudely. In fact, hot air balloon flight is based on the principle that the density of hot air is smaller than that of cold air, and the same volume of hot air is lighter than cold air, thus generating buoyancy. The flame heats the air in the balloon, and when the air is affected by after thermal expansion, the specific gravity will become lighter. The hot air will rise above the cold air. Hot air is lighter than cold air because the mass of hot air per unit volume is smaller, making it lighter and generating buoyancy heat, which can lift the balloon into the air. Now, if you tell girls this principle, they still don't understand it. It's different if you tell it to a blonde girl. They will definitely understand it faster, and they will also want to do an experiment. Don't know, Yanhua said without hesitation, this is indeed a bit difficult for her. She only knows how to fight with weapons, but she still doesn't understand the hot air and cold air. I probably know something about it. It should be that when the flame is burning, it heats the air, and then the hot air balloon flies up. Woo, right? Shalan asked tentatively. The cat-eared girl also thought about it for a while before coming to this conclusion, but she didn't know if this conclusion was correct. That's exactly what it is. Subai nodded with satisfaction, but he slightly underestimated the cat-eared lady. Woo, then this flame really won't burn the hot air balloon, right? Yu Ying is still very worried. Don't worry, the flame is still some distance away from the hot air balloon, and the flame is not very big. I will light the hot air balloon and we will be safe. Subai put his hand on the fox-eared girl's hand. He saw that the other party was very nervous, and the pink foxtail drooped involuntarily. Yu Ying's small hand was suddenly covered by a pair of big hands, and her heartbeat instantly it began to speed up. The originally worried heart began to calm down, and she didn't look so scared anymore. She took a deep breath, nodded heavily and said, "Yeah, I believe in witches." The little hand of the fox-eared girl was pinched by the big hand. She felt a sense of security that she had never experienced before, but at the same time she was a little shy. Her little face immediately turned red. She didn't dare to look up at Subai, and she had no intention of watching the hot air balloon. The beautiful scenery below, all the attention was on the big hand. The pink foxtail that was originally drooping began to stand up slowly, and then swayed involuntarily, and the overall look was in a good mood. Shalan saw this scene. Suddenly she felt strange in her heart, and she really wanted to be treated like this. But she suddenly shook her head crazily, thinking that this idea was too incredible. How could she have such an idea? It was really too bold. The other party is a witch. Why do you think so? Yanhua was very strange when he saw the cat-eared girl, and asked doubtfully, Alan, what's wrong with you? Is it uncomfortable? The horned lady didn't know what the other party was doing, but she only knew that the other party's face was suddenly so red. What happened to Alan? Is it uncomfortable to fly too high? Subai also turned around and greeted. After all, hot air balloons fly in the sky. I wonder if the girl is not used to flying so high, or maybe the other party is afraid of heights. Shalan immediately stood up straight and restrained himself. He shook his head emotionally and said, no, Wu, it doesn't matter to me. The cat-eared girl has been blaming herself in her heart. Why do she suddenly have so many random ideas? Just be fine, remember to tell me if you have anything, Subai said seriously. If the girl doesn't have any fear of heights, then she should let her go down in time. Although fear of heights is not a serious disease, the hot air balloon will fly higher and higher. If the girl is at high altitude, I'm scared, but I'm a little out of control. Wu was worried. Shalan immediately lowered his head. It's okay. If any of you feel uncomfortable, remember to tell me, Subai glanced around and said. Yes, everyone said in unison. Third update, please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 433. Chapter 433, the most important thing is the horse. For more updates, please customize. The hot air balloon keeps flying high, and the apprentice has been controlling the flame to prevent any problems. As the hot air balloon flies higher and higher, the scenery below becomes smaller and smaller. From the beginning, it can be seen very clearly, but later on, only a rough outline can be seen. Wu, the hot air balloon is getting higher and higher, Yu Ying sighed. The fox-eared lady is no longer afraid at all. When the hot air balloon first climbed, she was a little scared. But with Subai's comfort, she has slowly adapted to the environment of the hot air balloon, and the beautiful scenery below comforted her. Our tribe is starting to get so small. Yanhua's red eyes kept looking down. The horn girl thought this was really amazing. She didn't expect that some animal skins, a basket and some flames could fly into the sky. Although the hot air balloon has been flying higher and higher, but this kind of shock still exists continuously. It turns out to be so wide. Why didn't I feel this way when I walked before? Shalan sighed. The cat-eared girl looked around and found that the earth could not be seen to the edge, and there was green everywhere. I wonder if I can see a hunting ground here, Ai said suddenly, her purple eyes always looking in the direction of the hunting ground. Probably not, I think we need to fly higher, Chinchi said. Although they rarely fly like this at this altitude, they have also reached this altitude. However, they have never tried it at any higher altitude, because flying high will make them tired, and it will be more dangerous if they descend. Wu, look, there is still no end to the big river. Yanhua suddenly pointed at the big river in front of the tribe. Ever since she flew up, Niajiao Niang had been observing the big river, because she heard her father say that the big river was very wide, so wide that she couldn't even see the edge. And now that I am flying high in the sky again, the first thing I want to think about is to see how wide that big river is. It's normal that you can't see it at this height, and you need to fly higher, Subai said lightly. This height is not particularly high now. At most, it is a normal height on the earth. From a normal height, it is still a bit difficult to see a wide and boundless river. After all, this big river, it is really too wide. Since the people of the primitive tribe have lived for so long and do not know the width of this big river, then it is really wide. After all, there are people in the tribe who have wings. If even they can't see it, then it is really wide. The width of a large river means that the river is not generally wide. Since the current height of the hot air balloon is the height that Chinchi and Ai can usually reach, it means that it is not high enough. Wu, Can we fly higher? Yanhua asked curiously. Because in her opinion, the first time she could fly to this height was already very high. As for how high she could fly again, she had no idea. She only knew this: can a hot air balloon withstand it? Of course, it can still fly a higher distance. Let's fly higher and see, Subai said with a smile. The current height is not satisfactory to him, and the range he can see is also limited. What he wants to see most now is what the entire continent is like, although it is not completely possible. After reading it all, it would be nice to see the surroundings of the tribe. Because if you want the tribe to develop well, you must first understand what the surrounding environment is like. Apart from the big river, what he wants to know most is the environment around the tribe. I want to see if there are other tribes nearby, or rivers, lakes, and other things, such as fruit forests, places with many wild animals, or mines. Very good, Yanhua laughed happily. Woo, can a hot air balloon reach the hunting grounds? Shalan suddenly asked curiously. This is the question that the cat-eared girl wants to ask the most. Since the hunting ground is far away from the tribe, and there are many dangers on the way to the hunting ground and there. If this hot air balloon can arrive, over there, wouldn't it save a lot of things? Wouldn't it be good to use hot air balloons to transport prey? In this way, there is no need for those totem warriors to go back and forth every time. Just let them hunt enough at one time, and then use the hot air balloon transported them back and forth several times. In this way, it was enough for the totem warriors to go to the hunting ground once and stay for a few more days, and then they could not go for a long time. They could not go to the hunting ground many times, and they had to I have gone there many times because the manpower is limited and the prey that can be transported is also limited. But if there is a hot air balloon, all these problems are solved, which can greatly save a lot of unnecessary time. This will take some testing, but it's not impossible. I know what you're thinking. Subai admired the cat-eared girl's idea. Of course he knew what the other party was thinking, and he had thought of this himself. That's why he couldn't wait to make a hot air balloon. Since he went to the hunting ground in person, this idea became even stronger. He realized the difficulty of the totem warriors and the hard-earned food of the tribe. But he said that if the hot air balloon experiment was successful, all these difficulties would become easier. It would be great if the experiment was successful, Shalan said with a smile, because she wanted to go to the hunting ground again. The cat-eared girl felt that the hunting ground was so charming, and there were all kinds of animals and plants that she had never seen before. Can I go there often? Yanhua also thought of this for the first time. Not to mention the Horn Lady, it has always been her dream to go hunting for you. If it could be easier to travel to and from the hunting ground, she would simply live over there, right? If the experiment is successful, it will not be impossible in the past, Subai said with a smile. To be honest, he also wanted to go there again. After all, the exploration there has not been completely completed. There are too many unknown creatures and plants there, which can play a role in the development of the tribe. What kind of role does it play? He really wants to know. The point is that the horses have not been found yet. If the hot air balloon can fly to the hunting ground again, he will definitely train a group of horses and come back. Because the tribe wants to develop, horses are the most important thing. Is that in addition to being able to build a cavalry team. The second is that the tribe can have transportation. It is impossible to take a car at this time. But when it comes to making a carriage, it is easy to do, but the biggest obstacle is that there is no horse. That's it. It would be too clumsy to rely on an ox, and its running speed would be very slow. It cannot be compared with a horse. Very good. Yanhua said happily. Fourth update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 434. Chapter 434, Life and death must be in your own hands. One more, please customize. The hot air balloon has gradually climbed to a very high altitude, and the scenery below is getting smaller and smaller. Originally I could still see a general picture, but now I can only see a blurry area. I didn't expect this hot air balloon to fly so high, Yanhua spoke in shock. She originally thought that the height was probably the same as Changshi and the others flew, but she didn't expect to fly so high. I'm afraid even Changshi and the others have never reached this height, because you can tell by looking at their expressions. Changshi's black eyes kept blinking, not that he didn't see the beautiful scenery, but he was surprised that this thing could fly so high. A thing without wings and lifeless could actually fly so high on a ball of flames. It was so high that it was incredible. The black swallow boy kept walking around in the basket, then flapped his wings and flew away from the hot air balloon, and began to fly side by side with the hot air balloon. Ai did the same, and also flew out of the hot air balloon and began to feel this wonderful thing. Woo, is it dangerous to fly so high? Shalan said worriedly, her blue eyes a little hesitant to look directly below. Yueying was the same, she started not to look below, turned around and leaned against the edge of the basket. Don't worry, this height is almost the same, you don't need to keep flying higher, just keep it like this, Subai comforted. This height is about the same, and it is lower than the height that hot air balloons fly to on the Earth. After all, this hot air balloon was made in the primitive era, and the conditions in all aspects are definitely not as good as those on the Earth, so it is not advisable to fly too high to avoid any accidents. If you fall from such a height, you will definitely die. Why does the flame burn brighter and brighter? Shalan asked suddenly, and found that the brazier was always adding firewood to burn. Because only in this way can we fly higher. If we want to fly high, we must constantly add firewood to make the flame burn brighter, Subai explained. So if you want the hot air balloon to start descending, wouldn't it be better to make the flame smaller? Shalan guessed. Yes, just slowly make the flame smaller and gradually let the hot air balloon start to descend, Subai nodded. In fact, it is not difficult to control a hot air balloon. You just need to practice controlling the flames more. Of course, you must have a sense of direction, otherwise you will easily get lost. After all, you are flying high and you have a sense of direction. It will definitely be different. So that's it, Shalan nodded thoughtfully. Subai took out the telescope from the bag that came with him and began to observe the scenery on the ground. In addition to the hot air balloon test flight today, the second thing is to take a look at the environment near the tribe. He closed one eye while looking at everything under the hot air balloon with the telescope, and kept turning the direction of the telescope to look around. Originally, he wanted to see how wide the big river was, but he used the telescope, but he still found that he couldn't see the edge. It can be imagined that the river was really wide, and he had already begun to think about how to explore this river. Such a big river must be explored carefully. Okay, and whether it flows to the sea is also unknown. If it flows to the sea at the end of this river, then there will be a solution for the tribe's salt. After all, the spotted deer tribe can now supply more and more salt. The less there is, sooner or later there will be no salt supply. So before that, the Yanlong tribe must find the sea or find a salt mine so that they can produce salt. After all, life and death are in their own hands. It's really lenient, Subai murmured to himself. He used the telescope to look at the environment below, and found that the earth could not be seen to the edge either. All he could see was a green patch, and a brown patch. The green ones were forest trees. And the brown ones are probably the land and hillsides. Woo, should we go to the hunting ground and have a look? Shalan said suddenly. The cat-eared girl thought that she had left the tribe with a hot air balloon anyway, and she had flown so high. Why not go over there and have a look? And maybe using a hot air balloon would save some time. Although I don't know how much time can be saved. Subai shook his head and said, we have not prepared anything now, and we have not brought any food with us, and we don't know how long it will take to go to the hunting ground, so next time get ready to go again. He doesn't want to do anything unprepared. Everything must be planned, otherwise it will be bad if something happens. Food is the most important. It takes 3 days to walk to the hunting ground. According to the hot air balloon, it will probably take more than a day, and they have not prepared any food now, so they cannot move forward rashly. Besides, the hot air balloon has not been to the hunting ground yet, so it must be tested first before it can move forward again. Because no one knows how long a hot air balloon can continue to fly. The length of flight time determines the safety hazards of a hot air balloon. Now it is only flying in the sky for a short time and has not flown for a long time, so we don't know what the danger will be. It won't exist. After landing, he plans to let the tribe's people take the hot air balloon to experiment a few more times, such as flying higher, flying further, or even flying to the hunting ground to see. If he can successfully fly if we go to the hunting ground, we can also bring back the people of the hunting team. This will not only be a successful experiment, but also shorten the time for the people of the hunting team to come back. Why not kill 2 birds with 1 stone? Wu, can I also come up when the experiment starts? Yanhua asked expectantly. Niojia Anyang really likes hot air balloons. She wants to stay on them all the time. She never thought that hot air balloons can be so fun. You should not go up for the time being, because you have no wings, and if something goes wrong with the hot air balloon, you won't be able to cope with it. Subai shook his head and said. He didn't want Niojiao Niang to take this risk. If there was a problem with the hot air balloon in the sky, wouldn't she have to sit back and wait for death to fall from the sky? Okay, I get it. Yanhua pouted and was a little disappointed. Originally, the horned lady was very much looking forward to it. She thought she could come up, but the result was a bit unsatisfactory. But she understood it. After all, the hot air balloon flew to such a high altitude. If something goes wrong by then, she really won't be able to deal with it. When the experiment is successful, you can sit as many times as you want, don't rush it. Subai comforted. Okay, a smile appeared on Yanhua's face again. That's how she is. She leaves very quickly when she's unhappy. Please update for support and customization. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 435. Chapter 435, How to choose between the two. 2 more please customize. Swish swish. The 4 people drove continuously through the dense jungle, heading towards the direction of the giant bear tribe. They had been away from the Yanlong tribe for several days, and now all they wanted to do was to return to the tribe as soon as possible. Because they had been away from the tribe for too many days, the people in the tribe must be very worried. They may even feel that they have died under the claws of some kind of ferocious beast, and they may have given up hope on them. After all, he disappeared for such a long time all at once. He originally promised to go back in about 10 days. I really want to go back to the tribe as soon as possible, but I don't know what's going on there. Lan looked up at the blue sky. It had been raining for more than a month. She hadn't seen the blue sky for a long time. It felt really good to be able to see it now. She couldn't help but think of what would have happened if she hadn't arrived at Yanlong. If the tribe were taken in by them, what would they be like now? But there is a high probability that they would not survive, either die in the rain, or die in the mouths of some ferocious beasts. After all, they are not totem warriors yet, there is nothing the ability can resist those ferocious beasts. If they encounter it, it will be a dead end. There is no ability to resist at all. Although they train very intensively every day, they are simply unbearable when they actually encounter ferocious beasts. One strike. The most important thing is that they don't think we are dead, right? Luo suddenly said. What the little fat man is most worried about is this. What if the people in the tribe think that they are dead? Generally, if someone in the tribe dies, a stone monument will be set up for them. And this stone monument is used to commemorate them, but they will not have names. Only those who have truly contributed to the tribe, or the totem warriors of the tribe, will receive this treatment after their death. This is to allow the people of the tribe to remember them. Their death is glorious and deserves to be remembered. If Fatty and the others are deemed dead, they will erect a few inconspicuous stone monuments. After all, they are not totem warriors. Although they are reserve warriors, they have not contributed much to the tribe after all. This time they still have to go out for training. So even if they die this time, they will not be able to get the stone tablet with the name. This is really a tragic thing for the warriors. I want to ask, which warrior is willing to I am not remembered by anyone? Which warrior is willing to do nothing? It is more honorable to be remembered by the entire tribe. Therefore, it is the greatest honor for a warrior to have a stone tablet with his own name after his death. Of course, Luo Gangkai and the others are no exception. They also hope that if they really die by then, their names will be on the stone tablet. It's very possible. After all, we haven't been back to the tribe for such a long time, so it's normal to think that we are dead, Lee said calmly. The lizard girl felt that it was okay. Anyway, as long as she can go back to the tribe now, she would be better than anything else. Those things that are there and those that are not there are all empty. As long as she goes back to the tribe, everything will be back to the original. As for having a name, or all the stone monuments without names will be overthrown, and everything will be on the right track. That's right. There has been no news about us for such a long time, and it's still the rainy season. It wouldn't be surprising to think that we are dead, Kai nodded and said. He thought clearly. After all, it will be different when he returns to the tribe, and the most important thing is that they got back good things. The porcelain they took back will definitely make the people of the giant bear tribe, they were all astonished. This thing was so amazing that they took it out to look at all the time on the way back. Not once every few days, but almost every day, even during breaks. Every time they came here, when they took it out and looked at it, they were all filled with emotion, and then started to speculate again. In addition to admiring it, they were also trying to confirm whether there was anything wrong with the porcelain. After all, they were repeatedly warned when they left, saying that this porcelain must be kept well. It is also said that this porcelain is very easy to break and must not be knocked or touched. We must cherish it as we cherish our own lives. So the four of us were very nervous and worried along the way. Nervousness means fear. There is something wrong with this porcelain. I am worried about whether this porcelain can be returned to the giant bear tribe safely. If this porcelain cannot be returned to the giant bear tribe safely, then they will definitely be criticized. The reason for the criticism is that the porcelain is broken. But they have been away for such a long time without any news. If this porcelain can return to the giant bear tribe safely, then they will definitely be praised. After all, this porcelain is too magical for them, and it will definitely. The people of the tribe were surprised. Then the people of the tribe would not blame them for why they suddenly disappeared for more than a month. All their attention would only be focused on the porcelain. Originally, the purpose of leaving the tribe was to become a giant. The bear tribe is looking for better things, and they also want to find lower-priced things that can be exchanged for better things. After all, when exchanging things with the market, there must be a middleman making a difference, so they don't get as many things. So this sending them out for training at one time is also to find better things for the tribe and save more things for the tribe. I wonder what the witch and the chief will do if they see this porcelain? Would they be willing to exchange the sweet particles with the people of the Yanlong tribe? Lan curiously said. She felt that the sweet particles were also very delicious, but the quantity was not large, and the porcelain was also very beautiful, so it was a bit hard to give up on both. If it were for her to choose, it would definitely be a bit difficult to choose, after all. Both are very good. I think my father will exchange it with the Yanlong tribe. After all, the Yanlong tribe wants not only sweet particles, but also dried meat. Kai said. Although the number of sweet particles is not large, it does not mean that there are none. Compared with porcelain, porcelain is definitely rarer. No need to guess, you will know everything when you return to the tribe, so hurry up and get on your way, Lee said coldly from the side. It's morning now. They have to travel for another half day and they will reach the giant bear tribe in the evening. Although this half day is not long, there are still many dangers along the way. And there will also be many unknown ferocious beasts. They have to protect themselves as well as the safety of this porcelain. It's almost time to reach the tribe. If something goes wrong with this porcelain accidentally, they will definitely be upset. Dead. Second update, please support and customize. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 436. Chapter 436, Still Alive. 3 more, please customize. The sky has begun to get darker, and the time has come to dusk, and everything you look at is yellow. The entire forest seemed to be covered by a big yellow curtain, and the originally dark green leaves were also dyed with a layer of light yellow. Not to mention, this scene looks quite beautiful. The sunset feeling in the primeval forest is very unique. Looking around, in addition to the green trees at dusk, there are also a group of flying birds and beasts. The dusk in the primeval forest is not only yellow, but also has some faint pink in it. Coupled with a large green virgin forest, the intertwining of these colors is not chaotic, but surprisingly harmonious and beautiful. However, the 4 people in the forest did not have time to enjoy these beautiful scenery. They were just busy on their way. They were still moving forward. They should have arrived at the giant bear tribe long ago, but they encountered a ferocious beast during the process. They spent a lot of time avoiding this ferocious beast, but fortunately the beast had not discovered them yet. They just smelled it, but they kept avoiding it, so the beast didn't find its target. It took about an hour or 2 to hide it from the beast. That's why they delayed their progress. Since it was already dusk, they had to hurry up. It goes without saying how scary the primeval forest is at night, so we must go back quickly. Tap tap tap. Swish swish. The 4 people kept moving forward and had no time to manage the surrounding environment. No matter how beautiful it was, it had nothing to do with them. At this moment, they just wanted to reach the giant bear tribe as quickly as possible, and the sounds of some wild beasts around them made them afraid. In addition, the sky began to darken at a speed visible to the naked eye, and they were even more frightened. After all, he is just a preliminary warrior. No matter how powerful he is, he cannot fight against the ferocious beast alone. Even if 4 people work together, they are no match for the ferocious beast, not to mention that they are very close to the tribe now. They wanted to return to the tribe as soon as possible, as if they were home in front of them and there were wolves chasing them behind. Everyone is very anxious because they have been on the road for a long time and it is not easy to save their lives until now. In addition, teammates had died under the claws of the ferocious beast before, and they were even more frightened when they thought of that scene. After all, I am still young and it is my first time to go out to practice. I don't have any skills, so it is normal to be afraid. You should be careful around you and don't let down your guard just because we are approaching. There may be ferocious beasts ambushing you around, Lee warned vigilantly. Although the lizard girl is still a little scared, after all, she is the oldest among the few people, and she is usually very calm in doing things. Now she has to take on more responsibility. No matter how scared she is, she can't lose her sense of proportion. What's more, she who is usually very quiet will not show fear on her face at this moment. The same is true for Kai. She is usually so strong in the tribe, but she will not show it at this moment. Even if she is pretending, she has to pretend it, anyway, she is usually so strong. This kind of strong and stable appearance among the preparatory warriors cannot be lost here. Luo is different. Anyway, he usually looks carefree and loves to eat and sleep. At this moment, he doesn't care about his image. He looked around worriedly, half-heartedly. Hunched over to show fear, the fear can be said to be written on the face. How long do we have before we can reach the tribe? The forest at night is too scary. Luo frowned. He really missed the Yanlong tribe at this moment and wanted to go back there to stay there. It would be safer. It's coming soon. Don't waste any more time. Just hurry up, Li encouraged everyone. Her hand was still pressed on the bag she carried, for fear that something would go wrong with the porcelain inside. It can be said that people can have problems, but there must be no problems with this porcelain. Tap tap tap. The four people kept walking through the forest, and wild beasts kept making strange noises. And there are not just one or two kinds, there are many kinds of beasts making weird howling sounds. There are also wild animals walking through branches and bushes, making constant squeaking sounds. This frightened them so much that their speed increased significantly. They no longer cared about the stumbling stones under their feet or the branches that scratched their skin. Rustling. It can be said that the four of them tried their best and spent more than half an hour to get to the bottom of the tribe. Lan raised her head and breathed a sigh of relief and said, "We're finally here. This journey has been so difficult. I finally came back. I thought I would never come back." Luo was completely exhausted. The little fat man was already sweating. At this moment, he was really relieved. Finally, he no longer had to worry about the ferocious beasts in the forest, and his life could be saved. "Go back quickly and report to the witch and chief," Li urged. "Start climbing first. After all, the giant bear tribe is built on a long hillside. Whether you leave the tribe or go back, you need to pass through the slope." "Good." The other three people nodded and followed the climb. No one dared to waste time at this time. It took them more than 10 minutes to climb the slope alone, and finally climb to the gate of the giant bear tribe. It was already over. It's completely dark, so dark that you can't even see your fingers. It's safe. Kai can finally breathe a sigh of relief. There is no need to hold back at this moment. There are 6 totem warriors and 12 reserve warriors standing guard at the gate of the giant bear tribe, and there are bonfires on both sides of the gate. When they see Kai, I was so surprised that I didn't expect that they were still alive and appeared in front of me now. You must know that some time ago, the entire tribe was saying that the preparatory warriors who went out for training were all dead. I didn't expect that there are still 4 people standing in front of me now. Although they looked dirty and in a very embarrassed state, they were still alive after all. They were stunned, and it took them a while to react, and asked, "Are they Kai, Li, Luo, and Lan?" These people are not bad among the reserve warriors of the tribe. Moreover, 2 of them are the daughters and sons of the chief, and 2 are the daughters and sons of the hunting team leader. With their extraordinary strength and special status, if you want to avoid being, it's really hard for people to remember. "It's us, we're back," Kai said seriously. Of course he knew that he looked very embarrassed at the moment. After leaving the tribe for so long and hiding in the forest for so long, who else could be so glamorous? "Let us in quickly." Li frowned and said, "I really want to take a good rest at this moment." Third update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 437. Chapter 437, Praise from the Heart. For more, please customize. Li and the 4 of them were taken back by the reserve soldiers. After a brief rest, they went to see the chief. "After all, I haven't returned to the tribe for more than a month. Now that I have returned, I must go back to see the chief immediately. No matter how tired they are, this is the tribe's rule. Even if she is the chief's daughter, there is no exception." Tap tap tap. The 4 of them walked towards the chief's wooden house together, taking the porcelain with them. After all, this is what they can avoid being scolded. They spent a lot of energy to protect this thing along the way. So taking out the porcelain at this time is undoubtedly the best guarantee for them. Half an hour later, the four of them arrived at the chief's wooden house. Everyone's expressions were very serious and they did not dare to go overboard in the slightest. "Where did you go after disappearing for so long?" Shan's expression can be said to be ugly, and the veins on his forehead suddenly popped out. After all, his daughter and son have disappeared for so long, and there has been no news for a whole rainy season. It would be a lie not to be angry. And he has been at first. You were unwilling to let the other party go out, but the other party still insisted on going out. Is it okay now? We got lost and couldn't find the tribe. Just when the rainy season was coming the next day, we met the Yanlong tribe, so, Kai was still frightened by his father's expression. Sure enough, the scary father still looks scary no matter what time he is, without exception. Yanlong tribe? What tribe is it? Shan frowned and continued to ask, so you are spending the rainy season in the Yanlong tribe, right? The Yanlong tribe is a good tribe. They took us in throughout the rainy season, Li continued. The lizard girl has always felt that the Yanlong tribe is good, and she can clearly feel it after more than a month. Whether it is the environment or the food, it is obvious that the Yanlong tribe is real. Very good. If she hadn't always reminded herself that she was from the giant bear tribe, she might have had the idea of staying. Regardless of whether the Yanlong tribe is good or not, have you completed the task I asked you to complete? Shan asked seriously. In the period of more than a month without news about his daughter and son, he was a little worried in the middle, but this feeling was fleeting. In his opinion, every tribe is full of people. The fittest survive and the weak are eliminated. Since my son and daughter had some problems when they went out for training, it means that it is destined by God. It is destined that they are not suitable to become strong, nor are they suitable to stay in the giant bear tribe. He deserved to be eliminated. So he only felt a little worried at first, but this feeling quickly dissipated. After all, for him, there are many people in the giant bear tribe, and there are also many strong ones, not less than one or two. Besides, he also lost a lot of sons and daughters. It doesn't matter if he loses one or two. He just keeps reproducing. Anyway, he has several wives and he has many children. There are also many women who are pregnant with his children. In addition, he is really in his prime now, and getting more women pregnant is not a problem at all. Losing one or two weak ones and recultivating one or two strong ones will be fine. This is nothing to him. Therefore, he is actually happy that his daughter and son can come back now. After all, it means that they have the ability to survive. During this period of disappearance, they can find the tribe before the rainy season, and by the way, it is considered a good thing for them to accept them and stay. I'm good now. I was very angry at first, but when I saw them coming back, my anger was half gone, and I started to ask about the assigned tasks. We have only been to one Yanlong tribe and have never been to other tribes, so we don't know what other tribes have yet, Kai said, suppressing the fear in his heart. Even if his father didn't say anything, just sitting there, the feeling of oppression would come over him continuously. Shan didn't speak, waiting for the other party to continue speaking. We don't know what the Yanlong tribe has, but he gave us something. Kai said seriously. He took the porcelain handed over by Li, and then handed it to Shan. He was very careful in the process of taking it. Father, this is what the Yanlong tribe asked me to get back, Kai said word by word. His expression was very serious, and his eyes fell on the porcelain and never left it. Even though I have looked at the porcelain for so long, I still feel very magical and shocked when I see it again. What is this? Shan took the porcelain and began to turn it over and look at it. He must have experienced a lot in his life, but this is the first time he has seen this thing. It is said to be a stone, but it feels very smooth and similar to the stone is different, and the shape is even more different. If you say it is a plant or a wild fruit, it doesn't fit at all. Is it a weapon? But this thing looks so smooth, and there is nothing sharp about it. It can hurt people. Did it cause harm? But I have to say that he fell in love with this seemingly unknown thing at first sight. The feel and appearance were the first time he had seen it, and the shape was also very special. It's beautiful, it can be said to be a treasure. The people of the Yanlong tribe call this thing porcelain. They have this kind of thing everywhere in their place, in various shapes, and they look very beautiful, Kai said. When he mentioned the Yanlong tribe, the lizard boy was very happy, describing it with joy. It was as if the Yanlong tribe was his own tribe. This kind of praise came completely from the heart. Fourth update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 438. Chapter 438, The Greatest Trust. One more request for customization. Shan frowned, took a serious look at the porcelain in his hand again, and asked what did they say about this thing? How to exchange it? Yes, he was moved, he liked this I have porcelain. I don't know why, and I don't know what this thing is, but I just like it very much. I have never seen this thing before, but I fell in love with it the first time I saw it. Perhaps it was the smooth lines, dark brown appearance and unknown shape of the porcelain bowl that attracted him. I have lived for so long, managed the tribe for so long, and met many other tribes, but I have never seen this thing. The porcelain bowl in front of you can be said to be unique. It would look great if placed in a conspicuous place. They want the seeds of our sweet pellets, and some of the jerky. Kai brought the original words. At this moment, he was still very excited. If his father agreed, could he go to the Yanlong tribe again? The most important thought in his mind now was to go to the Yanlong tribe again. He felt that the environment there was much better than that of the giant bear tribe. And he also felt that the food there was more delicious and tasted completely different. He had been thinking about it. If he could live directly in Yan, that would be great for the dragon tribe, just become a member there. Want sweet particles? Shan frowned and continued to ask, how do they know we have sweet particles? After all, this kind of food is only available in the giant bear tribe and is not available in other places. Because this kind of food was discovered by the ancestors of the giant bear tribe from distant mountains, and then brought it over and continues to this day. They have never given this kind of food to any other tribe. Even the people in the giant bear tribe can only eat it to a few people. Unless you have a noble status or strong ability, you can get this kind of food, and no one else can even see it. Even for people who can eat sweet particles, they only see the sweet particles after they are made, and they don't know what they originally look like. This kind of food is considered very mysterious among the giant bear tribe. Although most people know about the existence of this kind of food, they don't understand the specifics. I only know that this kind of food is something that must be kept secret in the tribe and cannot be easily obtained by people from other tribes. This, Kai was stunned, hesitated for a while and then continued, I said it because they asked. At this time, he was a little afraid to speak. If he didn't speak well, he would be scolded again. Moreover, his father is famous for being very cruel. He has always known this, so he felt a little regretful after saying this. They asked, and then you told the secret, right? Don't you know that sweet particles are the secret of our tribe? Shan asked angrily. Of course I know, but this is also the secret of the Yanlong tribe. They exchanged their secrets with us, so I said it, Kai said. The lizard boy thought this was fair. The other party had already revealed his secret, so why didn't he reveal it? Besides, the other party trusted him very much and gave him the porcelain bowl without him giving anything. This was already, I really believe it. Ordinary people will not give good things from their own tribe to others unconditionally. No one knows whether you will come back. What if I give it to you directly and you don't come back? So what should I do? He said that this action of the Yanlong tribe made him feel very respected, so he felt that it would be okay to tell the secrets of the giant bear tribe. Moreover, sweet particles are only a relatively secretive food of the tribe, and if others knew about it, it would not lead to the whole what happened to the tribe. Things like negative destruction or being invaded by others are unlikely to happen, so it doesn't matter if you tell them. Did they say where this thing came from? How? Shan continued to ask. He still wanted to figure out where this thing came from. It looked like a stone, but it didn't look like a stone. I felt that this thing was definitely not naturally formed, it must be man-made, and this thing it looks very simple. I asked their chief, but his chief didn't want to tell us. Kai shook his head and said. He had the same idea as his father, and he was also very curious about where this thing came from. He also wanted to find out what this thing was it a stone or something else? Why is it so good? It seems that they came prepared. In addition to sweet particles and dried meat, do they want to change anything else? Shan asked. You must first understand the other party's needs, and then see if you can accept it. If you can accept it, then make an exchange. After all, this thing is really good. If you just exchange it for food, there is nothing to lose. But he still wants to see more about this thing. After all, the sweet particles are the secret of the giant bear tribe from generation to generation and cannot be exchanged casually with others. The sweet particles taste sweet and juicy, and are a kind of food. It's a rare delicacy. If you want to hand it over to other tribes, you have to see if the chips are worth it. There is nothing left, their only requirements are these 2 points, the first is for crop seeds, and the second is for dried meat, Kai said. Crop seeds? What are crops? Shan said doubtfully. Their chief said that crops are things like sweet particles, which are things that are grown in the soil and can be eaten. Kai explained. Shan blinked his red eyes and asked, besides this thing, is there anything else? He kept shaking the porcelain bowl in his hand, wanting to see if the Yanlong tribe had any other porcelain. Because he always felt that the other tribe must not only have this one thing, but also some other things. There are many more. I saw them all placed on wooden shelves, 7 or 8 of them, Kai Ji said. The furnishings in Yan Jiao's room are still vivid in my mind, such as those porcelain vases, porcelain bowls, and porcelain plates. And there are quite a lot of them. There seem to be 2 or 3 large porcelain vases alone. As for some small porcelain bowls, there are also many placed there, and the porcelain plates are the same, but they are suppressed by those porcelain bowls. No, those porcelain bowls look very different from the one in my hand now. It seems to be obviously smaller in size. And its appearance is also different, as if it belongs to another kind of porcelain, but it is not clear what it is. Let me think about it first. Shan said seriously. Please update for support and customization. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 439. Chapter 439, Substitution between the two teams. 2 more, please customize. The sun is shining brightly, the soft sunlight spreads across the entire land, and the Yanlong tribe has ushered in a new day. Since the rainy season, the construction work of the Yanlong tribe has been in full swing. There are people in the tribe who dig foundations, polish stones, make plant ash cement, and pave roads. Everyone has their own work, and everyone is too busy to have time to talk. What they now only want to do is work hard and exchange for food, but they don't have so much free time to chat. This was how it was in primitive times. They all put food first, and everything they did was for food. The rainy season has ended for several days, and many wooden houses in the tribe have been demolished. Instead, there were dug foundations and stone houses being built. Hundreds of people were gathered in front of each foundation, and they were all working together to build the concrete houses as quickly as possible before the heavy snow and ice arrived. Subai stood in front of the floor-to-ceiling window and looked at the scene of the tribe. He nodded with satisfaction. He was still very satisfied with the speed. It was much faster than when it was first built. After all, with experience, those people worked very quickly. Whether it's laying a foundation, grinding stone blocks, or cementing two stones together, it's faster than ever. If we continue at this rate, we will probably be able to build more than half of it before the big ice and snow arrives, Subai Nanan said. Needless to say, the degree of cold protection of a cement house is definitely many times better than that of a wooden house. Moreover, living in a cement house also feels safer, and the solidity of the walls alone is also better than that of a wooden house. A lot. When the rainy season comes, the wooden house can still be carried. Although it will often leak, it is not that cold. But if there is heavy ice and snow, the wooden house may be a bit difficult. Even if people are inside, they have to wear heavy clothes. Only animal skin clothing can keep you warm. Because there is no way to store temperature in a wooden house. Even if you light a fire pit, it will still be very cold. Because the arrangement of wood cannot be tight and seamless, there will definitely be more. There are fewer gaps. And the cold wind is everywhere, and often penetrates into the interior of the wooden house through these small gaps. As a result, the inside of the wooden house is still cold, but it is slightly warmer than outside. But what can really keep out the cold and store temperature is the cement house, and it is more practical to live in. This is why Subai wants to replace the entire Yanlong tribe with cement houses. In addition to letting the Yanlong tribe start to develop into a city, in addition to the second reason is also to let the people in the tribe live a good life. If you want the people in the tribe to live a good life, the living environment is the first thing to be improved. Not only for the people of the tribe, but also for the people of the tribe. He himself, after all, no one knows whether he can go back after traveling back in time. Since he can't travel back in time and live a modern life, life here is actually not too bad. Relying on the system packages issued by signing in every day, he can also live very well in this game era. As long as he uses the knowledge in his mind to slowly start to make the primitive tribe better and better. Anyway, his position is the highest now, and he wants to arrange some things are still very simple. As long as you order others to do what you think in your mind, it will only be a matter of time before the tribe develops. Wu, can we replace all the wooden houses with concrete houses before the big ice and snow comes? Yu Ying asked curiously. Although Huiyar Niang recently saw that people in the tribe are working harder, there are still 20 days before the big ice and snow arrives. Although everyone is doing things quickly and slowly, but I always feel that there is no way to replace all the wooden houses with cement houses before the big snow comes. It may not be possible to replace everything with a concrete house, but most of them should be able to be replaced, Subai said softly. Therefore, all the wooden houses in the tribe have not been completely demolished, and a large part has been left. This is just in case. If the heavy ice and snow arrives, they have not been built yet. If there were all cement houses but no wooden houses, where would the tribesmen live? So he only had some demolished, and after vacating some places, he asked all the people to build cement houses nearby. Wait until thereafter all the cement houses are built, continue to demolish some wooden houses and continue to repeat the previous actions. In addition to being safer, building houses repeatedly in this way is also safer, and secondly, the quality of the houses built is also relatively good. Because many people are controlling a house, the division of labor is also relatively clear and detailed, so it is not difficult to do it. But depending on the situation, those avenues should be paved, and a lot of them have been paved now, Yu Ying said softly. In addition to going to day pens, sheep pen and cattle pen every day, Fox-eared girl also went back most of the time to look at the paving of the avenue. Because the cement was poured on the ground and scraped with wooden boards to form the side of the flat avenue still made her feel quite magical. Moreover, walking on it felt very stable, and it was not all mud. She also liked this feeling. Well, the paving of the highway needs to be done as soon as possible, otherwise by the time the carriage is made, the road will not be ready and it will be bad, Subai said. Yes, the test flight of the hot air balloon has been completely successful. It only takes 1 day to fly from the tribe to the hunting ground, which is 2 days shorter than the original walking time. Moreover, during the test flight, they also brought back the food that the hunting team had caught at the hunting ground. Then because the food was brought back first, the hunting team stayed for a few more days and wanted to hunt more food. They wanted to wait until the next time the hot air balloon came over. By the way, they will replace the second hunting team. They will come back with the food first, let the second hunting team continue hunting, wait a few days until they have rested, and then go over to replace the second team. Subai came up with this method, so you can collect as much food as possible before the big ice and snow. This way you don't have to waste time on the road. There are still 20 days before the big ice and snow. If you include the time to and from the hunting ground, more than half of it will be lost. Time is wasted on the road. But if you have a hot air balloon, these time will be completely earned. The two hunting teams will alternate back and forth to hunt, and they will hunt more food. With the replacement, it won't be too tiring. Anyway, it's just sitting on a hot air balloon and going back and forth, so it won't take them too much effort. Second update, please support and customize. I was a village chief in a primitive society. Author, Big White Monster. Chapter 440. Chapter 440, the plan was shelved. 3 more please customize. Woo, what is a carriage? Yu Ying asked curiously. Fox-eared girl had heard this word occasionally before, but she never knew what it meant. What I told you before is a form of transportation, Subai explained simply. I had mentioned transportation when talking about hot air balloons before, so the beast-eared girls should understand. Yu Ying nodded thoughtfully and said, I remember. Well, anything that can replace walking is called a means of transportation, right? Not entirely, but you're right to understand it that way, Subai said. He originally wanted to explain that there are war horses or some ferocious beasts that can be used as mounts. But after thinking about it, he explained too much to her, and the fox-eared lady didn't understand. It's better to show up when the time comes. Just say it again. Woo, can Uncle Gomu or Uncle Shanshan start making this carriage? Yu Ying asked curiously. There's nothing we can do, we haven't found the horse yet, so there's no need to worry about making the carriage yet, Subai said lightly. He also wanted them to start making carriages, but they haven't caught the horses yet. And there are still some carpenters and masonry to do in the tribe, so there is no need to worry about the carriage. Wait until the horses are found. It's too late to do it when I'm a kid. Anyway, it's just 2 big wheels and a few wooden boards and it's not that difficult to put them together. Woo, what does a horse look like? Isn't it in the forest? Yu Ying asked curiously. This is the first time she has heard of a beast called a horse. Since this kind of beast can be used as a means of transportation, it must be very special. It's similar to cows and sheep, but it's a little different. You'll know when you see it, Subai said with a smile. Although horses, cows, and sheep are all mammals, the division of labor between the 3 beasts is still a little different. Cows are mainly responsible for work or for food, while sheep's main function is it is used to produce milk or collect wool. The function of a horse is different. It can be used as a draft horse or to pull some things. But the most important thing is to be used as a war horse, with warriors galloping on the war horse. Moving forward, waving the weapons in your hands, you can easily take off the enemy's head. This kind of team is called a cavalry team. They march in a mighty way, and their combat power cannot be underestimated. Yu Ying shook her pink fox tail. He seemed to understand and said, what were you drawing in the morning? Fox-eared lady saw Subai drawing some patterns on wolf's tail paper in the morning, but she couldn't understand the patterns. After thinking about it for a long time, she decided to ask. I am painting the city wall. There must be a city wall around the tribe, Subai said seriously. The city wall has always been within the scope of his planning. Since a city is to be built, there must be a city wall that can protect the city. You must know that the city wall is an important military defense that can withstand there are many foreign invasions. There are also some ordinary ferocious beasts and beasts that cannot easily enter the city. This also protects the people in the tribe with a high probability. City wall? Wu, what is a city wall? Yu Ying heard words she didn't understand again. It's just like the wooden walls that surround it now, except that all those wooden walls have to be replaced and built up piece by piece with stones. This is called a city wall, Subai said seriously. The current row of wooden walls can be said to be not strong at all. They can be used to block people. But once a ferocious beast appears, those wooden walls are just a mantis arms to block cars. Was easily overwhelmed or even passed over. He had experienced this from the rainy season, when a river bear appeared in the river, and the ferocious beast wanted to rush towards the tribe. If not for the totem warrior in time, if they are strangled in the river, they may easily climb over the row of wooden walls, and the tribesmen will suffer. Therefore, the construction of the city wall is urgent. If the city wall is not built, the safety of the tribesmen will be difficult to guarantee, no matter how powerful they are. The same goes for totem warriors. After all, the power of totem warriors is limited, and those cruel beasts come in waves one after another. The tribe does not have much time to spend fighting those beasts every day. All time needs to be spent on development. Those ferocious beasts just need to be isolated from the outside with high city walls. At that time, as long as a group of patrolling totem warriors are arranged on the city walls, a lot of effort can be saved. Like building a stone house? Does the entire tribe have to build a wall? Yu Ying's pink eyes widened. Although the fox-eared lady doesn't know much about this aspect, she has definitely seen pigs running away before eating pork. She also saw it when the tribe was building cement houses. She knows how to build stone houses. It is not easy. If we want to build walls around the tribe, it will definitely be very difficult. Well, a wall was to be built around the entire tribe. Subai nodded seriously. Wu, what should we do with the stone houses in the tribe? Yu Ying was worried, because if people are sent to build the city wall, no one will have time to build stone houses. Heavy ice and snow are coming again, and stone houses are definitely better than wooden houses. At this time, it seems, it is definitely more profitable to build a stone house than a city wall. I was just thinking that although the city wall must be built, the tribe does not have enough manpower. Subai frowned. This was the reason for his headache. He had a farming plan, but it was shelved due to manpower problems. This was a bit of a pain. If there were enough manpower in the tribe, then his farming plan will proceed quickly and steadily. Wu, there are quite a few people in our tribe now. Yu Ying tilted her head and said. After all, fox-eared lady doesn't really understand this aspect. She just feels that there are many more people in the tribe now than before. Silly girl, there are not enough people at the moment. If there are so many people again, it will be about the same. Subai smiled. If so many people come again, and then arrange these people to build the city wall, it will be perfect. But the ideals are beautiful, and the reality is skinny. This can only be imagined. Just think about it. The most important thing is to see how the spotted deer tribe is doing. After all, Kinjian and the others went out with a plan. Wu, but if there are many people, the dried meat will not be enough. Yu Ying said worriedly. Although the dried meat in the tribe is enough for the people in the tribe, it will not be enough if there are more people. Don't worry, this is not a problem, Subai said confidently. Third update, please support and customize.